Hold on, before we get too far into that, we're already recording. Welcome back. This is the Rags to Richness podcast, episode number 5.
Ooh, lucky number 5.
I think. I think it's number 5. Hold on. Wait, let me check, bro. Before I say the wrong thing, I might have to cut that out. I think we've done 5.
Okay.
Pause.
Episode 5.
I usually know this off the top of my head, but I forgot. We're that deep into this. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 5. Okay. We're here with my longtime friend, entrepreneur, YouTuber, basketball player, prodigy. Wanted to be basketball star, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. You're actually the second person who's played basketball. The last guest is a professional basketball player.
Really?
So you're the second guest.
Guy, girl?
A guy.
Oh.
It's not NBA, but another league, but professional.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways, it's Marintia. She's here. If you don't know her, she's incredible. Instagram is up there. Make sure you follow her. Check her out on Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. Welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor, first of all, especially considering our background of how we started content creation. And I'm sure they don't know, and we're going to get into all of that, but it's crazy that we're doing an episode, and not only that, in Japan.
Oh, yeah. Guys, we're in Japan.
Like, what?
I forgot, bro.
Like, how is
we're
he
in Japan?
Yeah,
so long story short, my family's here. Like my aunt and her man and my cousin and stuff, right? They were already coming. He's been to Japan a bunch of times, so they wanted me to come. I always wanted to come to Japan. So they paid for my ticket to come out here. Because
Did they want to adopt me by any chance? I'm just asking. I'm just curious. Like in case they wanted to.
Hey, I'll ask them.
Okay, thank you.
I'll ask them.
Just show them my picture.
I got you.
I'm kind of cute.
They actually know who you are.
Oh,
they know
nice.
who you are. Because I sent them your channel and stuff. I was like, I mean, no word.
Nice.
Like, because they were watching a lot of like Japan YouTubers and stuff to like figure out what it's like.
Okay.
I think they watch Sunday as well. Sunday.
Sunday,
yeah. So yeah, they watch like some of your stuff and all that. But yeah, I'm in Japan, and so is Marintia. We're here in the suburbs, and Maritia's hometown.
Yes,
And
sir.
y'all know how special it is to me to talk to people in their home environment, where they create or where they're from. So I wanted to do it here in your hometown. So thanks for having me here.
Thank you for coming
into your space.
all the way out. I know it's like a little bit far from Tokyo. So thank you for coming out. And you're leaving Japan today. So shout out to Nehemiah for coming out here.
Yeah, I need to come out here again.
No,
this
I
country's
agree.
incredible.
I agree. I agree.
So we're gonna need a whole nother episode for that. We gotta be very like focused today because we only have a little bit of time. So first thing I want to ask you is, what do you do? Like, someone comes up to you, you don't got a camera in your hands, you get to talk about yourself and introduce yourself. What are you saying?
Hi, my name is Marintia. I'm single. I'm 7 feet tall.
Oh my God, not the 7 feet tall thing, bro.
I mean, like, I'm sure
She's
you
not.
can.
She's not.
Oh, so you're lying now on your channel.
I am 6 foot. I am 6 feet.
Okay, well, that makes sense because I'm way taller than you. That would make a lot of sense.
All right,
but,
keep going.
No, how I would describe myself is I'm a YouTuber, entrepreneur. I just like doing things I like doing and making money out of it and living my life, really. That's how, and soon to be artist.
Okay.
Soon to be artist.
That too.
Yeah. Yep. So that's how I would describe myself.
Oh, and you grew up here in Japan?
I grew up mainly in Ghana. I was in Ghana from when I was 2 to 10, and then again from 15 to 18. I was in Japan just for middle school and summers. Yeah. And I also had like a 1-year thing in Canada, but.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So we talk more about why you were in Ghana, why you were here, all of that, if you feel comfortable.
Yeah. So my dad is Ghanaian, my mom is Japanese. So born here, but then we moved to Ghana. Parents started their business in Ghana, lived there most of my childhood, came to Japan, went to the US. But I would say like my base, my whole life has pretty much been Ghana. And this is like the first time in my life where I'm like living in Japan more properly.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were here, you said, for what years in middle school?
Middle school, so 6th to 8th.
Gotcha. So what, 6, 7, 8? There's 3 years.
Yeah.
And then you went back to Ghana.
I went to Canada for 1 year, and then I went back to Ghana for high school. And then I saw you at Georgia Tech after.
That's crazy. So the first time in the U.S. was for Georgia Tech?
Well, no, I visited during summers or like trips and stuff like that. But living-wise, yeah.
What was that What is it like? Because for me, I grew up in the U.S. This is my first time out of the country, the very first time. I barely traveled as a kid. I went like a little bit up and down the East Coast, never off the East Coast. First time I went off the East Coast was when I started doing photography and videography and got flown out for something. So I'm just now getting to see what the world is like. As a kid, like traveling around the world, is that something that you were like, oh my gosh, like this is cool that I get to be across the world? Or was it just like life for you?
No, I definitely loved traveling from when I was a kid. Even when I would come to Japan during the summers, I would get so excited. A month in advance, I'm like writing my packing list of like what I'm gonna put in my bag, what outfit I'm gonna wear to the airport. I used to love traveling so much. But it's super interesting because I realized a lot of people in the US, it's their first time leaving the country or like going to another state. But in Ghana, people like to try to leave the country. So if they're capable of it, a lot of people have been to other countries.
Right.
Yeah, so I would say a lot of my friends have been to the US and like the UK. Hence why when I came to Georgia Tech, like I was always visiting my friends in other states.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good times.
So
Traveling
you've always
is great.
been traveling minded, just because that's like how people in Ghana were, just trying to leave and go explore places.
I think so. I think that's what people try to do. Not everyone is financially capable or like able to do it, but I think that's what a lot of people strive for. And it's super interesting because I used to travel so much as a kid, and now my job is kind of like that. And even when I was at Tech, like I left the state at least once a semester, right? So I'm like, wait, is it now? And it's like part of my personality to not be able to be in one country or stay for a long time. And I think it is because like even Japan is like, okay, I'm here for this year, and I'm gonna leave to other states or like, other countries maybe 2-3 times this year. I've never been in one place for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
I've
I'm
noticed
so
that.
used-
I'm like,
yeah.
you're like a nomad. I call you a nomad.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere's your home.
Yeah.
What is that like? Like, how do you do that? Because there's probably a lot of people watching that are like, that's fire. Like, you're how old?
23.
23. So they're like other 20, 23, 25, even like 30-year-olds that are like, how are you at 23 traveling around the world, making YouTube videos and stuff? Like, obviously you've had a childhood of doing that. Like your parents have moved you around and stuff, which is cool. But like now at 23 being independent, how is that possible for you?
Okay, so there's two aspects, right? Number one, I'm super blessed with great friends because great friends means free rent.
Facts, yes,
Right?
facts.
So most places I've visited, I've not had to pay for rent because my friends are like, oh, come visit me, come visit me. I'm like, okay, you don't have to tell me twice, I'm coming there.
Yeah.
And then free rent. The things that cost the most are plane tickets. But you just work hard so you make the money to pay for the plane ticket, right? So how I view plane tickets with my job is if I think I'm gonna make back the money from the trip, I take the trip. You know, so like I would write down all the videos I want from a trip and I take guesses. I'm like, okay, if I have 5 video ideas, 2 of these could be viral. Okay, maybe this would make me like a couple K each or 1K each, and then this will make me, this video probably won't do that well. If I believe in the content that I'm gonna make in that country and it's gonna make me back the money, then I take the trip.
Does that happen a lot? Like, are your guesses pretty spot on, or is it just like hit or miss sometimes?
I would say that I know what videos would do well on my channel, but they're not always the videos I wanna make.
Gotcha, okay.
So it's finding the balance of the videos I know that would do well, that I'm 100% confident will do views, but also making videos I want to make, but also exploring new niches because my channel is small. So how I see it is like, back in the day when people didn't know anything about like plantation, whatever, right? You're just planting hella seeds. You don't know which one's gonna grow. So I think if your channel's like small, like my channel's still small, you're planting so many seeds. You're like, okay, maybe I want to do vlogs. Okay, no, maybe I want to do interviews.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to do street interviews. And then you're trying to throw so many things at the wall. And then you kind of have to see which one sticks.
Right.
So right now I'm still in the stage of planting. But each one I plant, I learn from each one, okay, my audience kind of likes this type of thing. But what your audience likes is not always what you like.
Right.
So it's always like twisting and turning and figuring out how you can fine tune it to make what you like, what they like, what can make you money, all that.
Because she loves money. So
I do love money.
how does that change as you grow? Because I'm sure that like planting seeds and throwing things at the wall method changes as you go from a few hundred subscribers to a few 100,000. So you're at what now?
I'm at 130,000. I think.
So how has that
130,000.
changed over time as you've grown?
Um,
Has it?
I think I'm more conscious about the type of audience I want to build. I think when I first started YouTube, I was so focused on just like, I just want to grow.
Yeah.
Like, I just want someone to watch the videos I'm making. So I would just find niches of like videos that, oh, these videos would do well. And I was right about it, but then I didn't think through whether that's the audience I wanted or not.
I
So
see.
I think the bigger your channel gets, you start thinking more consciously about the type of audience you want. For example, I've not said this anywhere else, but I'm gonna say it on your channel.
Okay,
Exclusive.
exclusive.
Some people might hate this, but some of the videos I was doing in the beginning, I was making Ghana content, but it was more idea-based content of me showing things and telling people about things. So like house tours. But I was like, wait, I have zero interest in house tours. Like I like watching them sometimes on YouTube, but I don't want to be a presenter of a house tour. Like I want to make coffee like Emma Chamberlain and still get 1 million views, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not what I want to do. And then I realized that, oh, this type of content brings in like an older audience, the uncles and aunties.
Yep.
The uncles and aunties who might not understand my lifestyle when I actually start making videos I want to make. So I was like, oh wait, I don't want uncles and aunties to be watching my videos.
Yep.
I want younger people to be watching my videos. So I would say that I've become a lot more strategic about the type of videos I want to do. For example, there's like, I could think of 10 video ideas right now. If I do them, my channel is probably gonna grow like so much, so much, because that's what's worked so far for me.
Yeah.
But I don't wanna go in that direction. So I'd rather take slow growth, but the growth with the type of people that I wanna
Yes.
grow with than to grow with a bunch of people that might not have the same vision as me.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that. I tell people this all the time. Like when people ask me like, I don't know what they'd be asking me specifically, but this comes up a lot. Like, a lot of people want the fast track to growing. And there is a fast track, but the fast track, you'll lose that quickly too.
Yeah.
If you can't sustain that, right? Like, if you want to make, like, prank videos, right?
Yeah.
Those go viral super easily
Yep.
if you do it right, right? There's a formula to it. Like, if you do it, follow it, you're going to blow up, right? But if you don't like making prank videos, eventually you're going to burn out. You're
Yep.
going to hate the fact that you have to make prank videos to make your money. And you're in the same spot as if you've been working a 9 to 5, right? But
That's the important part.
if you stick to what you know you're good at and what you love and just take the slow path, it's gonna take longer. It might be harder because
Yeah.
it's longer, but you can enjoy the journey more. And you have people that are following you for you and who you truly are instead of this facade that you've built, right?
That is true.
So not only like are you able to create the stuff that you like, but it's sustainable because it's you, right?
That is true.
I say that all the time. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good point.
No, I agree. And you know what's crazy? I feel like with content, even when you show you 100%, it's not you 100%.
Yeah. that's
Somehow,
true.
like somehow,
Yeah.
like I don't know how that happened. Like for my channel, whenever I meet people in person, and like they're like, oh my gosh, like you're like a really nice person, you know, like pure, you don't do bad things at all. Like, I'm just like, guys, that's not me. Like I'm pretty normal on the standards of like human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, oh wow, like I've never pretended to do something for the camera, but I started to think like, I wonder how that impression of me is going to people.
Yeah.
And I started thinking more about the type of audience I want, also about like the longevity of what I wanted to do. And one of the things that came to mind was like, I don't want to have a perfect image because it's easier to break a perfect image than a imperfect perfect image. For example, like you have the Disney like stars, right? They start drinking or something.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's like, what happened to this Disney star? Da, 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 da,
Yeah,
da.
exactly. They're just being
Yeah.
human. What?
Exactly. But if you already drank and you drink,
Yeah. Yep.
you're fine.
Exactly.
So I started thinking about like, okay, like even though I'm showing 100% me, it's still not 100% me. You know, because you're taking a snippet of your day.
Yes.
So, yeah. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, like, even when I vlog or when I do these podcasts, like, I feel like there's always this sense of, like, a barrier, kind of. Like, you're not your authentic 100% self. Some people can do it, but I just feel like there's something in us as humans that want to be performative when we get in front of other people.
That's
Whether that's
true.
you and me here,
That's
or
true.
that's me in front of a camera, or in front of a bunch of people somewhere, right?
That's true.
Like, I feel like there's very, and I need to be careful because I do blanket statements all the time, but just from what I've seen in my short 22 years of life, I feel like there are some people who can be their authentic self everywhere, and that is where, if I feel like if you can get there, that's just like ultimate peace when it comes to
Yeah.
like dealing with people.
That's
Because
true.
you realize that if certain people don't mess with you, then it's whatever, right?
That's
But
true.
at least like you're so secure in yourself that it doesn't really matter. And you know when people come around you and like you, they like you for who you genuinely are and not, again, this facade you're putting up. So there's a lot of layers to it, right? There's this whole like personal like relationship thing that has to do with being yourself, and then like a business side of it too. And there's a lot of benefits to like sticking to who you are and being that consistently. It's
That's
basically
so
like,
true.
at the end of the day, be yourself. Like our
Yeah,
parents
yeah.
always have told us growing up, or like our guardians, whoever was like, you know, raising us, like, it's true. It's
No,
so true.
it's so true. And you said like if you're able to be 100% yourself in front of anyone, it's like your ultimate level of security. What would you say is like your personality type, and like how does that blend with doing content?
Oh, that's such a good question.
I'm so curious because I realized like my personality type probably played a huge part into why so many things in terms of YouTube have felt very light or easy to me.
Yes.
But to other people, it's like,
A burden.
how are you doing
Yes.
this? Because, you know,
Is that what you were alluding to earlier when you said that traveling is kind of a part of your personality type? Like, do you think that's something that's part of your personality that helps with YouTube? Or is that just something else?
I mean, I think so. I think the traveling part, you see, I think the traveling part, I might have gotten used to being constantly stimulated by new experiences
Okay.
and going
Yeah.
to new places.
As a kid.
As a kid.
Yeah, that
So
makes
then
sense.
I feel like maybe it's hard for me to get out of that.
Yeah, like just settle somewhere and just
Yeah.
be.
Be
Do you get
exactly.
anxious after being somewhere for a long time? And
I don't get anxious, but like it naturally doesn't happen that I'm in one place for a long time.
gotcha.
Yeah. And but I also don't like traveling constantly because I like having like a level of stability
Yeah.
and routine.
Yep.
So I like traveling, but each travel destination I'm almost living in, not just visiting.
Yeah, it's not like quickly there for a week and then another place
Yeah.
for a week and then another place for a
Yeah,
week. You said
yeah.
you're gonna be here in Japan for a year, this year, right?
I'm gonna be here
like
for
this is home base.
home base, but I'll go to other places. It's gonna be home base mainly because I want to work on music like seriously this
Right.
year. Yeah,
In Japan.
yeah.
Why not the US?
Because there's a producer here
Okay.
that I'm gonna be working with from like everything, scratch, like
Dope.
vocal lessons,
Yeah.
training,
That's so
dance,
cool.
making songs. So I'm gonna document the whole process of like me becoming an artist on my channel as well. But
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
Y'all have that to look forward to. Make sure y'all definitely follow her and subscribe because her content is fire.
Thank you.
There's a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Thank you.
So, that's
I'm really
dope.
excited for music.
Yeah, I know you've been talking about it for a minute.
Yeah.
I think you first told me back in New York.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like what, a year? How long ago was that?
Not a year. Maybe
Like a few months.
a
6
few months. Yeah.
7,
yeah.
8, something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Cause that was before I graduated though.
Oh wait, what? Before you graduated?
New York, I think so. No, it's
No,
after. No, it's after because that's when everything blew up. Yeah, I was there on
Yeah.
work. Yep, that's what it was.
I think it was like last October. No.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But going back to your personality question, that's a really good question. So like, what parts of our personality does well for content creation?
Yeah.
The first thing that came to mind was, it's not a direct answer to the question, but like why this question is important. I always thought that I had to be the, hey guys, today we're. That is not me.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
so chill, bro. I just go with the flow. I have energy, and like I'll say stupid stuff and like maybe like do stupid voices and stuff here and there, but it's not like I'm not that like in your face
Yeah.
all the time, right?
Yeah.
I'm a very balanced person. I
Yeah.
can turn it on when I need to, but I'm usually pretty like relaxed, right? And I always thought that if I wasn't this, hey guys, right, on this side of the spectrum, that I wouldn't do well on YouTube.
Right.
But it's been so affirming recently to just be myself and post stuff and have people like it. Like I was saying off camera, like the vlogs that I posted one vlog. I've been vlogging since I left Google, which is like a month and a half ago. I have a lot of vlogs recorded but not edited yet. I released one, and people liked it a lot. Like, it has hundreds of views, which is a lot for me because I only have like 200 something subscribers.
Yeah.
So a lot of comments, people saying this is great, this is encouraging. I feel like it's trash. Like,
No.
it's not really interesting because I'm not traveling the world and doing all this stuff, right?
No, but honestly, right? Like, I don't think you need to be interesting to do content creation, because my mom never gets why I watch the people I watch. It's just them cleaning their houses and like making their to-do lists and cooking and doing that type of thing. But like, that's the type of content I enjoy watching. And even going back to what you were saying about your personality and being like calm and stuff, the content creators I watch aren't like the Mr. Beast type vibes. Like, I like watching
all of them, bro. Like,
oh my gosh, I used to watch FouseyTube so much back in the day though.
Yeah.
But I like the natural vlog type vibes.
Yeah.
So I don't think you need to travel or be like doing something crazy always, depending on the type of niche you want to enter. But I think even when I travel, I try to make the location not be the center of the story. I don't want to be dependent on like a location or other people for a storyline. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think this is important for us to talk about now with where we're at. Although you're like further ahead in the YouTube journey, we're still kind of starting, right? It's not like we have
pretty much
big established bases where we have to make a certain type of video to make it work. Right? Kind of like Mr. Beast. He's at that point where he's got his formula down. He's a business. He's running a business. He has his systems and they need to operate, right? We can still throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, right? Like you were saying
100%.
earlier. So I think this conversation is important because we control the narrative. It's not like it's up to the viewers. Whatever we make is what they're gonna follow if we're consistent with it for long enough for the base to build, right? Like anything else. You have to be consistent with it for it to build.
100%.
Right?
And people don't realize how long the race is.
Oh my gosh.
And they think it's so short.
It's not even a race. It's a lifelong
It's a journey,
jog.
a marathon.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Because think about the fact that if we use Logan Paul as an example, right? He started off initially by doing like vines and then doing splits in like random locations and like those videos going viral.
Yeah.
The way I see like your life and your career is like, at least in entertainment, you're known as your last best thing. So if your last best thing was whatever it was, that's what it's gonna be. But if you keep building on your last best thing and keep having new best things, your story is never done being told. So, for example, like you might start as a, Reels music video guy, then now YouTube guy, then podcast guy. But like the journey as to where you can end up is so crazy. And that's what I want to document.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
exactly. That's why I vlog.
Yeah, like I feel like with FouseyTube and stuff, like if you look at the OG vloggers, when daily vlogging was a thing, right?
Oh my gosh, the good old days.
The good old days.
2013, 14, 15, 16.
I think the best part about those times is that, did you ever watch Superwoman?
A little bit.
Lily
Oh my
Singh.
gosh, you just opened up a part of my brain. Yes.
Forgot about?
Yes.
So what I think is so crazy about her, and I think a lot of people should actually do this because I think it's a crazy hack. She's now a judge on Canada's Got Talent, I believe.
So crazy.
She has her production company. She's a multimillionaire. She has so many books. So she's here, right? Now, me being 23 or 18 or 17 or however old I am, I'm looking at that, I'm like, oh, I want to get there. But we never used to know how to get there.
Exactly.
Right? With like the Bill Gates, with the other people that are quote unquote successful, you don't know how they got there. You know them once they got there.
Yep.
But the dope thing about daily vloggers is that if you actually type Superwoman Vlog 1, you can find Vlog 1 to Vlog 800. I think she has like Vlog 1,000 something.
That is so cool.
She has 1,000 vlogs.
Yeah.
And literally you see this person's life changing in 1,000 vlogs.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Which is, I would say, is more powerful than a documentary, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, documentaries are done after the fact. Like after the person's gotten there and then they talk about the experience of what they did. But in retrospect, you don't always catch the little details because it might be years, it might be decades, right? Like for Bill Gates. That's still useful because he's like, I mean, he's Bill Gates, right? And that's still inspiring. But to see the person like literally in the trenches and be able to see everything from the beginning to the end, that's important.
Because it's crazy to me that I got to watch her vlogs, and anyone can still do it. You just go and search up her vlogs, but like when she's writing her books and she's like, today I'm lazy, I don't want to write my book, what should I eat? Her ordering Uber Eats, or like her being on her period, or whatever it is, like she's just vlogging every single day. And in that moment, it's just one vlog. When you zoom out and now you can see 1,000 vlogs, this person, like, life has changed in 1,000 vlogs. Like, she was in a completely different apartment, different financial bracket. You can see the glow up happening in real time now if you go and watch all the vlogs.
Yep.
So for me and my channel, I kind of just want to document my journey of how I get to where I want to get to.
Exactly.
You know?
And that, one, is a point of this podcast, is to give that roadmap through people's stories like you. Rags to Richness. That story of going from rags to richness. And there's a lesson in there of when you're watching Superwoman's vlogs from vlog 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10, it looks pretty much the same.
That's true.
You don't see any real movement until, like you said, you zoom out and you see the whole progress. So we're not gonna see progress from day to day. We're not.
Yeah.
You work out in the gym, you're working on your vocal lessons and stuff to get ready to be an artist. Basketball or soccer as you played as a kid, you don't see progress day to day.
Yeah.
But you see progress over time.
That's so true.
But you don't get better unless you're consistently showing up, right? Which doesn't mean showing up like, at least for me is what I'm learning. I don't have to like go 100% every time I show up. I just want to show up. Because if I can build that muscle of consistency, then that's going to be super helpful. That's something I've been like really hammering down on my vlogs, like working out in Japan. I'm doing body weight exercises. Shout out to Maya, my girlfriend. She gave me this workout plan, right?
Oh, nice.
For no weights that she's doing for herself. But I said, let me do this while I'm here. I did not want to work out. I did not feel like working out at all. But I said, I have to do this because it's not about me getting big. It's not about me getting strong. It's about me building this, my resiliency and my discipline. And if I can do that, I can do anything I want in the world. If I can just put my head down and just work and do it.
You're right. And I think what you just said is something I really need to work on because I need to learn how to show up without having to show up 100%. Because wanting to show up 100% stops me from showing up.
Ah, okay.
And I think it's worked, but I think there's like better ways in which I can work. Like, for example, I'd say because when I show up 100%. I jump leaps when I do. But then because the 100% is so extreme, I don't show up as often. So it's really sprints of things happening. So even with YouTube, I would say like I have sprints of growth. I've never been consistent on YouTube, so it's crazy to me that I've grown because consistency is something I really struggle with. And I think it's something I want to remedy this year. But I've always been the type of person like, okay, if I go to the sauna, I need to be in there till like I'm about to pass out. You know what I mean? Like I want to get the maximum health benefit of being in the sauna. But then what happens is you're so drained, you now don't want to go back again for a long time.
Yeah.
But if I had just done 10 minutes less, but 2 more times a week, I could have done so much more. So that's something I'm really trying to work on this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, consistency. And and like going back to what you were saying, I don't know, I watched one of your episodes. So I don't know like what kind of other guests you've had, but I think the cool thing about your audience, if they want to hopefully follow me on my journey, is that
they will.
Like,
I'm gonna find them and I'm
like,
let me not say it on camera, but
guys,
it's not gonna be good.
Like I'm kind of tall, and I'm also kind of an
Oh my
orthodontist,
God.
and I'm also
Never
kind of
mind.
cute. Like
Scratch what I said.
You guys should really be following me. I'm just saying.
Scratch what I said. Don't follow her.
The
link will not be in the description.
I mean, the link is up here because
it's
we're
not.
tall. Thank you.
Okay. All right, continue with the point, please.
I think I'm still in the rags, you know.
Yeah.
So
We are.
we're
It's
still
dirty.
in the rags.
Dirty down
So
here.
this is very different from you interviewing someone that's like already at the Richness. So I think it would be really cool for them to follow both of our journeys to see how we get to the Richness.
We're pretty much doing the same thing. Like in all seriousness, for y'all like watching, we're doing like, we're running kind of parallel, but in like different lanes. You feel
Yeah.
me? So like same type of energy. Like we have outside stuff. Like YouTube isn't the end goal. YouTube is just a process to document what we're doing. But we're like entrepreneurs outside of this, right? So that's like, if y'all like this content, you will like hers. So you can follow her for that reason, not because she's 7 feet, because she's not an orthodontist, all the other stuff she said, but
I can't believe you're trying to discredit my years of dental school.
Let me see the degree.
It's at home.
Let me see the degree.
Why would I bring it to a park?
I don't know.
I don't want the mouse raccoons to eat my degree.
Y'all have those here?
No, but hypothetically.
Oh my gosh. This is probably the only episode I've been pissed off on.
But do you want me to do you want me to explain the 7 feet analogy?
Please, actually, because you've said this
Okay.
like 3 times since
Okay.
we've been together for the past couple hours. So.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I'm
apart
curious.
from the fact that I'm actually like 7 feet tall. Do you know an Afrobeat artist called Burna Boy? Do you know his album or song called Twice as Tall? So he has a lot of references to him being like big or tall, right? So twice as tall, African giant, or I'm way too big. He has a song that goes like, I'm way too big to be fucking with you. But the analogy of height or bigness he uses is to show his capabilities is beyond what is physically measurable.
Right.
So to me, like being 7 feet tall is not actually about your height. It's about yourself, how you view yourself, as far as how far you can reach,
That makes
how
sense.
tall you are,
Yeah.
being the African giant, or being like your own version of a giant.
Yeah.
So even though I am actually 7 feet tall, even if you aren't, you can be 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And also I believe that the world is how you imagine it in your head. Really, like
Yeah,
everything
bro. Oh
could
my
be so
gosh.
different.
Oh my gosh.
Think about the fact that
I'm
it's.
so glad you said this.
Think about the fact that it's. What's the weather like to you right now? Like, are you cold? Are you warm? Are you hot?
Neutral.
Neutral. Okay. So I'm also kind of neutral, but like everyone, depending on like how they think or how they feel, the exact same environment is gonna be different, right?
Yeah.
Like to someone, this can be like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Or you might be having a shitty day and you're like, oh my gosh, why are there so many bugs?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. Your perspective, what
Your
you focus on.
perspective.
Because everything is the same.
Perspective,
As far as we
exactly.
know, the world is gonna go the way it's gonna go.
Exactly.
We haven't figured out how to build a time machine, so it's going. We all experiencing the same thing.
Exactly.
I love that you said this.
So I'm just building my life from my perspective.
Yeah.
Not from the perspective of how my life is seen objectively or by other
Exactly.
people.
It's really about faith. Like
It's
having
really about
faith that
faith.
you can be somewhere that you're
Yeah.
not now.
Yeah.
That's what faith is. It's like
Yeah.
belief that something will exist or exist that you can't see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Whether that's religious or not, it's just like, I believe that I would be here making YouTube videos as a YouTuber in Japan. Not those two things together, but I've had those separate thoughts and now I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It just happened that
Happens.
way.
Yeah.
Right? But you have to believe in yourself first. Again, very cliche to say, but like I believe that so freaking strongly.
I agree.
And I know there's a lot, I talk about this a lot. I know there's a lot of barriers to believing in yourself. Not you specifically, but just people in general. I've felt them. There's people close to me that deal with them all the time. And it hurts me because it's like, I feel like that's why I'm here. It's because I've always had this like crazy belief in myself that I could be somewhere that I wasn't and that nobody else saw me in. But I was like, nah, I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Like leaving Google.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, not everyone, but some people close to me were like, that doesn't make sense, whatever. And I was like, I can't explain it to you, but I know
Yeah.
I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna be fine.
That's kind of
It's
me.
weird.
Yeah, no, I completely understand what you're saying because like even with me, like you know how you ask me like how are you traveling, like how do you finance it, like even I'm confused because things just fall into place, and I really believe in like energy as well as like luck, but not in the form of like luck, in the form of you attracting it to you with fate and like how it's supposed to happen. And I also believe like so if you really work hard towards something, I think the older I get, I understand more that a lot of things have to fall into place for things to work.
Yes.
It's not just one factor. Like when I was young, I used to believe like, if you just work, it's gonna happen by all means. But there's so many factors you can't control. But I don't think it's changed my opinion enough to be like, okay, you know what? It might not happen. it just made me realize that, okay, now I need to work harder to get the other things to also fall into place.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I bring that up because today I brought you to the basketball court, which we still have to go to near where I live. But the reason why I wanted to do it here, you said like a place that's significant to me. So I used to play soccer my whole life. And soccer was something I was naturally good at. Like I never trained, I was just good at it. I think I was pretty athletic, so I could play soccer and I could have gone far with it. But then somehow I ended up liking basketball, which I was horrible at. Like I was horrible at basketball. Like to the point where I hated basketball so much that my friends would make me go for like basketball tryouts. I'll go for one day and then never go back again. Then somehow I ended up liking it eventually. But I was bad at it. But as soon as I started liking it, I already decided I was gonna be the best at it. Because to me, rarely does my talent decide what I wanna do. I decide what I wanna do and try to figure out how I can get the talent for it.
Exactly, bro.
You know?
What is that? Talent beats, hard work beats talent. When talent
hard,
doesn't work hard.
Yep.
Another cliche, but it's all true.
So to me, like, soccer was there, but then basketball became something I was super passionate about. And I trained so hard for it that I actually became decent at it. And I've done that a couple times in my life. Like things I've been horrible at that I try to become good at them because I want to do it. One of the examples is school. So like, I used to be so dumb. Like, like to the point where, so like my elementary school.
Why you do that to yourself?
No, I'm just being honest. Like, elementary school, they would give us like positions in your class. So I have like maybe 15, 18 people in my class. I'd always be like 16, 17, around there. I don't think I was ever 18. Shout out to the 18th person. I could never get last, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
At least a second to last, but I was like that bad in school. Like they would call my parents to be like, yeah, you know, she's not that good in school. So like when I moved to Japan, I was like, oh, it's a new school, fresh start. Let me actually try hard in school. I tried hard, but like my maximum potential was like a C, right? And literally it's crazy how much like YouTube and TV and movies influence you. Because I think I just watched a movie and I was like, okay, you know what? I want to go to Harvard. So like in that moment, I was like, I want to go to Harvard.
Yeah.
So like I switched my whole like life to everything I did was focusing on studies. So like me in high school is completely different from me in college that you met, because me in high school, I was like, I want to go to Harvard or NYU or UPenn or one of the top schools to just study.
Yeah, I mean, you had to be to get into Georgia Tech. Like, that shit is hard to get into.
Right.
And you're not from Georgia. If you're in Georgia, it's pretty much a straight shot. But for us who are not from, and I feel, well, I was gonna say international students might be harder, but there's a lot of international students. Either way, if you're not from Georgia, it's very
hard.
difficult to get in.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
And I think it's way harder, especially when you're not naturally smart.
Yes.
Like, I'm not naturally school smart, but no one would believe me by the time I got to 12th grade, because everyone in 12th grade is now thinking of me as a smart person. But I think it's because a lot of people believe that what you can do is based on how you are. For example, like, I'm not a morning person, I can't wake up. Or like, I'm not, I can't lose weight because I was born with this type of body type. And sure, like, people are born differently, everyone's different, but still, like, you can work on things to make it closer to what your ideal is.
Exactly.
So the reason why this place is significant to me is because basketball was like the first time where I was like, I saw a huge jump in my talent in doing something. But it didn't come from me being talented at it, but it came from me working on it. So what I achieved with basketball, even though like it didn't work out in me becoming a professional or whatever, it's so important to me because it made me realize like there's literally nothing I can't do. Because if there's something I want to do, like I'm gonna figure out a way to do it, you know? So whenever I think of something I can't do, I just think about the time that I literally could not dribble a basketball. Like, how was I that good by the time I like ended it? So even with YouTube, I wasn't the creative person out of my circle. Like, I was always the athlete girl. I was always the athlete girl. My cousin was an artist. My friends started YouTube before me. There were so many creative people around me. And I was also like the business person. Usually people don't think the business person is the artist person,
Yeah.
right? So like when I started YouTube, it was like, I don't know how to edit. Like I started on my iPhone. I don't think I ever filmed a video before I filmed my first YouTube video. That's why I think another reason our journeys are super different is that if you go back to my first videos, they're literally so bad.
Mine are too. You just haven't seen them.
Maybe,
You just haven't seen them. They are.
But the
They
ones.
are. I'm telling you, they're trash.
Okay. But the basketball experience made this whole YouTube journey way easy in my head because it's like anything I'm not good at now, I'm gonna be good at in a few years.
Yep.
That's why when I talk to people, I feel like they think I'm crazy because they think I'm
I've been
gonna.
saying the same
No,
shit,
I think
bro.
they think I'm crazy because they think I'm gonna get to where I want to get to with who I am now. But I am only me like this for this second. Even tomorrow, I'm on another level.
Exactly.
So it's like how. That's why I'm gonna get to where I want to get to because I think my biggest talent is evolving and working hard on myself.
Yep.
And I think once you can do that, you can do a lot of things. If you have talent, bless you. Like, I think it comes from not having a lot of talent, honestly.
Honestly, I don't even know if I believe in talent for real. I know there's natural
Really?
ability for certain things, right? Maybe a natural affinity. But I feel like everyone's capable of doing whatever they want. I
That's
just feel
true.
like people who believe they're talented are successful if they work at it because they believe they're talented.
I think that's what it is. I believe in talent because I've seen so many talented people, but ironically, they don't believe they have talent.
Yep. It's all about
And
this, bro.
It's all
It's
about
all about
this
this.
because it's so weird because to me, I'm pretty self-aware. So like, well, I try to be. So
That's a very, very self-aware thing to say. At least I try to be.
I try to be. So I model here and there, but I have so many beautiful friends, right? I'm just like, guys, you guys are made to be models more than me. Like, literally, I am half your height, even though I'm 7 feet tall. I am half your height.
She's 7 feet tall now, I can confirm.
Thank you. You guys are 8 feet tall. You guys could be modeling, making bank. You guys, in my opinion, to modeling standards, are prettier than me. Why are you not modeling? Confidence? Like, delusional confidence can take you so far.
Bro.
It's crazy.
Bro.
It's
yes.
crazy.
Yes.
So many people who can sing better than me would simply not become artists because they don't think
They
they
don't
can
believe
sing.
in themselves.
And someone who can't sing as much but believes they can easily cover up that gap by just trying for a few years.
Look at the whole music industry. That's the whole music industry now. There's not
Yeah.
everybody in there's not talented.
That's true.
No,
That's
they're not.
true.
They just work hard
That's
because they
true.
want it.
That's true.
That's it.
That's true.
That's not it, but that's one of the things. One of
That's
the
true.
important factors.
That's true. And then occasionally you have like someone that has both talent and work ethic and it goes crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to ask this question to everyone. We'll end with this.
Okay.
Also, that whole thing you just went on, beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
When I unlock that in someone on the podcast, I'm like, I did my shit. I did my job. I did my job. Pat myself on the back. I'm a good interview host.
No, you really are though.
Last question. If you had a megaphone
Okay.
and the entire world was in front of you, everybody,
Okay.
not a single person was missing.
Okay.
You got people on land, people in the water, because there's a lot of us on this earth. Some people are swimming.
Okay. Are there aliens or no?
No, just on the earth.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe if there's some in the atmosphere, but
Okay.
everyone, right?
Okay.
What would you say? Anything.
Oh wow, do you see the dust coming from that side?
Ooh.
Don't look.
Why would you say to you? Oh, it's really coming, bro. Ah.
I would say, ooh. Oh, it has to be one sentence.
Whatever you want to say.
I would say, you're letting them live your life and you're living life the wrong way. You know how you ask me all the time, like how did you take such a huge risk to like drop out of college and do YouTube, da 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 da? But I don't even see it as a risk. And I started thinking about like, why don't I think of it as a risk? And it made me realize it's because if you look at it objectively, it's not that much of a risk. But it's society and how you're used to people, how you're used to seeing people live that makes you feel like it's a risk.
Yeah.
Because everyone around you is going to university, graduating, and you know that if you graduate from university, you're gonna probably get a good job, so it's stability. But I don't think it's so unstable on the other side if you didn't want it to be. Because the world is so big, right? And I think that's one of the benefits that comes from, I've gotten from traveling is that university is very much like a Western concept.
Is it?
I think so, because when I came back to Japan, it's very normal for so many people to contemplate whether they want to go to university or not after high school. A lot of people become like apprentice type stuff. So getting practical
Yeah.
in whatever they want to go into. Or there's so many different paths. Like a lot of people take part-time jobs, and it's not frowned upon necessarily. But in America and like countries influenced by Western culture, and Ghana being one of them, it's like after high school, if you're not going to university, like your life is over type vibes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but then realistically it's not, because the way I see life is, and I'm not saying this to say like people should drop out of college, because if I'm being honest with you, would I advise anyone else to do what I did? No. Because I think you need to have a crazy level of like strength to do it.
Yeah.
Like if I had a child, I wouldn't want them to do what I did. Because it's like, it's super stressful.
It is.
It's so stressful. But people think I'm able to do it because I'm disciplined, but I actually had to do it because I'm not disciplined. I had to drop out of college because if I didn't, I would never be able to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Not because I can't. Like, for example, I could have done what you did, like balancing both, but you were able to do that because you're disciplined. Because
Also, because it wasn't time yet.
that's
wasn't
true,
time
that's
yet.
true, that's true. But discipline in the sense of like, you knew you were gonna get to it. Like,
Yeah.
you wanted to do it in the
Yeah.
future, you were gonna get to it. And for me, like, when I started YouTube, it was so fresh off of like quitting basketball, right? Because I had stopped playing basketball 2 years prior. And then when I stopped playing basketball, I really wanted to take a gap year to play basketball. But I ended up not doing that. And I started thinking back at that time, I was like, you know what? I always blame my parents for like telling me I couldn't take that gap year, but really if I wanted to, I could have. I feel like I kind of,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
I felt like I kind of used my parents saying no as an easy way out for me to be able to blame them on, not chasing my dreams.
Yep.
So when I realized that, I was like, the next time I'm blessed enough to have a dream, because I think like to be able to have a dream is a blessing. Like, one thing I've been super blessed with, I feel like, is the fact that I'm always dreaming about something. Because there are people who are still finding out what they want to do in life or what
Yeah.
brings them joy. So after the whole basketball thing happened, I was like, the next time I fall in love with something like that, I'm not letting it go.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna go half in on it. That's why to me, like once like YouTube happened and then on top of that COVID happened, I was like,
See ya.
guys. And I did that when I had like, I think technically like 1,000 subscribers.
That's so fire.
So like,
Bro, seeing your growth has been so dope
oh thanks.
since tech.
Thanks.
Since tech.
Thanks.
You've been really
thanks.
grinding.
Thanks. Honestly, I'm so far from where I want to get to. Like to
We
me,
always are as visionaries.
yeah.
That's what
true.
keeps us going.
That's true. But I'm still so early on my YouTube journey. Like my channel is still so small. There's so many things I need to work on, like consistency.
I feel the same way, bro. With all my stuff.
Like,
and then people will tell me like, bro, like, I look up to you so much. Like, you're so inspiring, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's something I wanted to say earlier. Like, we still feel like we're in the rag stages, but we're in a lot of people's richness.
maybe.
talking
Maybe.
about perspective. No, we are.
That's true. That's true.
We are.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's
Think
true.
about who you were like before you left tech. Think about where you are now.
That's true.
This was your richness back then.
That's true.
This was my richness back when I was 15.
That's true.
So
But
it's
you
a matter
know,
of perspective.
I'm curious as to how you think about this. I know you were trying to wrap it up, but
Yeah, we can make this the last one
Okay.
because I don't want to miss my flight. That
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
so
yeah.
terrible.
oh, it's 2:25. Okay.
Oh, yo,
What?
my aunt said we boarded the train. I thought it said boarded the the plane. I was like, I'm stuck. And I was like, oh no, I'm stuck in Japan. Oh man. Oh shoot.
Oh, in Japan, the worst. Yeah.
Stranded in Japan. Like another week. Another week of content.
It's not a bad country to be stuck in, to be fair. But I don't know, right? Like, honestly, YouTube's super hard.
Yeah.
Super hard. And I think I've never found things hard before. Like in life. Like things, no, like in terms of like
That's so funny to me.
like things other people find hard,
Yeah.
I can understand objectively it's hard. But to me it's like, okay, I'll deal with it. You know? Like I'm very much like, okay, there's a problem. Let's deal with the problem. Like I'm not gonna really sit there and stress over how big the problem is. Like, okay, we have this whole big final. I need to pull 3 all-nighters to study for it. I can do it. Boom. YouTube, I think, has been the biggest like struggle for me. Mainly like the mental aspect, because honestly, like maybe I was like quite not emotional until YouTube. Like I don't think I had emotions this much. like I was the type of person like, and it might come from the sports background, but like if you're tired, I'm just like, get over it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it might not have been like the best or healthiest way to deal with it, but I think a lot of people from like sports backgrounds can relate. Like that's how coaches are.
Right.
And that's also kind of how I respond better as well. But with YouTube, like it is so stressful because of the position I've put myself in. But this goes back to why I put myself in this position. Is because I don't want to be able to run away from it.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
I don't know how people are gonna feel about this, but like with basketball, I always allowed myself to run away from it if I didn't, you know, wanna be faced with the reality of it. Whether it's my parents, whether it's using my parents as an excuse as to why I had to go to college and quit basketball, or whether it's like, whatever it is, you know? Like I can make excuses.
Yeah.
So with YouTube, I wanted to put myself in a position where I can't make an excuse.
Yeah.
If I drop out of college, I don't have any income. If this YouTube doesn't work out, there's no path for me to take. Like it has to work out.
Yes.
But that's a crazy position to put yourself into. You have to be able to deal with the pressure of putting yourself in that position. But it also gives you the luxury of making sure you don't turn away from where you want to go.
Exactly.
But it's stressful.
Yeah.
So like this is the first time in my life where I'm like, oh, like, I'm like, am I weak? Like, am I like, you know, like I don't know. I used to be so ruthless and like so just fiery about everything.
Yep.
And then I think with YouTube, I would say like last year or something was the first time there was like a crack in my like indestructible shield of I'm gonna make everything happen.
Yep.
But I think now, as I'm coming to the other side of it, it's making me realize how important it is to take action as fast as possible. Because I think the cracks also come with age.
Yeah.
Because we need to do things and dream as much as possible when we're as naive as possible.
Exactly.
So it made me realize how important pacing and timing is, but also like it's just a crazy world. This like content creation,
It is.
entertainment, like this
And it's
whole
all
world.
new. Entertainment's not new, but like the way that we're doing it is new.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's just now becoming a little bit of a roadmap to it. You know? Like with Logan Paul, Mr. Beast, like the giants, like they figured it out. So now it's like, okay, there's a little bit of a formula to this. But like 2 years ago, it was like, there's still like, from 2 years ago until like the beginning, we were all trying to like just throw stuff and see what happens, you know? So Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
nerve-wracking. But I love your point about like having the fire under your butt. Like there's no other. I have to figure this out. When
Yeah.
you're in a position where it's like it's really like life or death, it's like all right, I have to figure this out.
Yeah.
I have to. I've had moments like that since leaving Google, and I would not take it back at all.
Yeah.
There's no other way to live for me.
Yeah.
No other way to live. That security, bro, is some gold. There's some golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
Is what they call it in the tech industry.
Golden handcuffs. I like that. Okay.
And after leaving, I feel so free. The stress feels worth it now.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's a type of stress. You see, this is all perspective, because like last year I was like, I'm stressed. Period. Like I'm stressed. Like there's no if, and, or buts. Like I'm just stressed. And now it's like, it's all perspective. You can make everything so good with just switching it around. Now to me, like, this type of stress is a blessing to have.
Yes, bro, exactly.
I'm just like, okay.
Listen, this is a hack for everyone. Gratitude.
Gratitude is a must.
It's a muscle.
It's a muscle.
Is what I'm learning.
So true.
You're not
so
just
true.
grateful just because for some reason.
Yeah.
I think our brain has a negative bias from some like evolutionary thing or something. I was doing some research. But like we're focused on the negative things because it keeps us safe, right? We know what to avoid. But we can train our minds to think more positively.
That's true.
Every morning, not every morning, but most mornings, I'll write down 5 things I'm grateful for. That's it. Just to build the muscle of me starting to focus from here to more of the positive stuff over here. Even
That's
like
so
right now, my
important.
back hurts really bad. Because there's no back support on this, right?
Yeah.
But I'm grateful that we get to sit in a beautiful park on a bench like this and film this video, film this podcast.
That's true.
So I could either, I'm grateful I have a back. Like I have a spine that works,
I'm
right?
grateful I have a spine.
So it's, like you said, a
Yeah.
matter of perspective. My
That's
spine
true.
hurts, but if I think about the positive and my
Yeah.
spine hurting, then that's a shift in perspective. It doesn't change the fact that my spine hurts. It changes how I experience my spine hurting, right? So that can be applied on a micro level to a macro level.
That's true. That's so true.
So I'm gonna cut it here because if we keep talking, we're gonna
That's
be
true.
here for
You're gonna
like
miss
3
your
hours,
flight.
and I'm not going to get to my flight. So this was Marintia.
I
you
am
for coming.
already making a request to come back on the show, hopefully.
Oh yeah, this was the tip of the iceberg, like the tippy top.
The TV.
All of our conversations, I feel like we just get here and there's
Yeah,
just like
I
all this
know,
to talk
I
about.
know.
There's not enough time.
We're gonna have our
But-
timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we've always brushed past each other. You know, like our timing never fully clicked, but then also somewhat clicked enough for us to stay in touch.
Yeah.
You know, we'd have like one day in the same city.
Exactly. That's really what it is.
Literally. But
Hey, this year is gonna be different though.
no, I agree.
It's gonna be different.
Let's
She up, I'm up. It's
Let's
different
do
this
it.
year.
Let's do it.
different
I'm so
this year.
proud of you, by the way.
Man, thank you.
So proud of you.
Thank you. The camera died.
The camera died.
So we're back. I believe you were praising me, telling me how good I am. Yep.
Yes.
Please.
Of course, you remember
I'm all
this
ears.
part.
I'm all ears.
I was just saying you've done a good job or whatever.
I think you said a great job.
Oh, okay. No, but all jokes aside, I actually think this episode is iconic because the context you guys are lacking is freshman year of college. We just DM'd each other after we met at a friend's birthday that you were shooting for.
I don't even remember how we met, honestly.
You were shooting at, was it Amran or someone's birthday? Like you were taking pictures for them. That was the first time we ever met.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what that was?
Someone's birthday.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You were there?
I came at the end, remember?
Dang, that's where we met?
We met on the street, I remember.
I remember exactly where it was, on the
Yeah.
corner. The corner.
And literally, after that, we DM'd each other. And we met up at the school library.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, I want to do content. Oh, you were like, oh, I just started doing photography. And we kind of clicked, and we were even gonna start like a content creators group in college.
Which, by the
right?
way, they started. Did you see it?
You told
Leica
me.
and Akbar, I'm proud of y'all. I love shouting y'all out. GTC, GT Creatives.
Shout out to you
They
guys.
did what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But we just did our own thing. So shout out to y'all.
And this was when I had like 100 subscribers, and you were like now going up on your photography journey. So I would say like maybe 6 years ago, we had the first conversation of doing content. at college. After that, we had our different paths. I dropped out. I'm doing YouTube now. And you went to Google.
Got my degree, all
You
that.
quit
Yeah.
now, and now you're doing content, and you've also blown up so much on like the music video stuff. The big picture, we're kind of doing what we said we wanted to do.
Exactly. No, we are doing it. Not kinda, we are.
We are doing
Although,
it.
because we're here now,
Yeah.
so we're focused on the next.
Okay.
That's why we're here, because we're
Okay.
always focused on the next.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But if we look back,
We're
where we wanted to be, and more.
That's so true, because I think when I talked to you, all that was on my mind was getting 1,000 subscribers.
Look at you now.
Like, that was all I
100
wanted.
times that.
Okay, let's do this to wrap it up.
For the third time.
For the third time. You know how when we were at Tech, we kind of spoke about where we wanted to get to? And then now we're here.
I like this.
Let's have a conversation. It doesn't have to be too long term, because I feel like I'll see you before it's too long term. So like maybe let's say like, what's a good duration?
So the next time we see each other?
Yeah.
Before the end of the year at some point.
Okay.
So let's just say this year. Like
This
by the
year.
end of the year, where do
Okay.
we want to be?
Okay, where do we want to be?
That's what you're gonna ask, right?
Yeah.
You first.
Okay. Before this year, I want to put out one song, minimum, with a music video. I want to hit 500,000 subscribers. And I want to launch my clothing brand.
Okay.
And I want to be healthy. Maybe a little bit less convenience store food would be good.
On the way here, she was saying how she always eats at Family Mart.
Yeah, it's so bad, but
It's okay.
yeah. Taking care of I want to become better as a human. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I always sacrifice the human part to do well on the career side. But
There's a whole other side to it,
Whole other
which
side.
I'd argue is more important than the shit we're doing.
that's true. Sometimes I forget I'm not a robot.
Facts.
That's what I mean by YouTube is giving me emotions. Like, I used to, like literally before tech and stuff, I used to function like a robot.
Yeah, I really did too.
I used to,
really was
like-
a robot.
I can eat chicken, breast, and broccoli and just study and like, I don't
Yeah.
care about flavor of food. Like, I'm just here to get what I need to get done. Now I'm
You're
just
living.
a whole emotion ball. Like, literally.
You're living now.
Yeah, I'm living
a full
now.
human experience.
That's true.
A full human experience. I almost said that. All right, so for me,
What
real
about you?
quick, I'm still figuring it out. It's always changing. Like I was talking to you off camera. There's some things that I want to figure out personally that will inform like why I do what I do. The why will inform the what, and I feel like I need to go back to the why to figure out the what.
Okay.
But I know that this is going to be involved somehow. My goal was to hit 10K this year. It still is. The more I post YouTube videos, the more I believe in myself. And the more I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do for right now. I've always had the dream, but now that I'm actually pursuing it, it feels good still. So 10K, I'm gonna hit 10K this year.
100%.
I'm not gonna say I want to, I'm going to hit 10K this year.
100%.
Again, mindset,
100%.
everything. We're gonna hit
100%.
10K somehow, some way.
It's gonna happen.
But yeah,
I think it's gonna happen way sooner than you think too.
I'm starting to believe that too.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think I'd be leaving Google so quick, but now I'm just, bro, I have crazy dreams. Crazy dreams for myself. And I'm hit all of them.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So that's it. That was
Let's do
Mauricia. Rags to Richness. You're the second person to do that.
Okay, well, just leave me hanging then.
Yeah, we're not doing this
Why we
generic
have to
ass
be-
handshake.
No, we have to be like, okay,
Dap
we're
me
gonna.
up, bro.
Oh, you wanna do it cool. you
Yes.
You wanna be...
What? Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. You don't
What
want,
is this?
You don't want this.
No, this isn't a like business transaction.
This is kind of nice though.
This is like a, I don't know. It's too military.
You know when people make a deal and they're like this? So I was like, I thought we just said like our goal. So it's like, okay, deal.
All right, we can shake for real.
Okay.
Deal. Deal.
Do you want to also dab it up?
We already did that.
Okay.
We already did that.
Okay.
So get out of here. Get out of here. Go, bro. I need to talk to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this part of the, yeah.
Oh, this is the
I'm
end.
rude at the end. This is like,
Oh,
go.
okay.
This is, yeah.
Can I
this,
give
this
them?
is my diva
Can I
moment.
just say bye to them before I leave?
You can say it on the way out.
Okay.
All right, bro. All right. All right, y'all. That was episode number 5 of the Rags to Richness podcast with Marintia Aiko, good friend of mine. We're in Japan. What, bro? If y'all enjoyed this episode, I don't ever ask you to subscribe, like. I do it sometimes because I'm joking. I don't care, bro. I just want this to edify you in some way. So if it did edify you, all I'm going to ask is that you share this with someone else that you think it'll help. That's it. The whole point of this is not to make money. It's not for me to get rich. It's to help you. You watching this. So if you want to do the same thing, share this with somebody you think will benefit from it. That's all I ask. I'll see y'all in episode number 6. Goodbye. I'll be in the United States next time.
Woke up this morning, I'm feeling blessed. Stepped out the bed, man, I cannot stress. To the class, I got my Sunday best. It's not Sunday, I just like the dress. I think I'm hot, man, I must confess. So I don't care if you are not impressed. Self-driven swagger's all time to mess. Stop all that hating, you look a mess.
Okay. That's gonna go at the end, bro, after I do a little outro.